Hello everyone, I am Nash Shaikh and I am going to talk about my negotiation experience today. So we were going out anyways in a couple of days and also for Thanksgiving. So I thought this will be a good opportunity for us to go through our shopping item list. We had a couple items that we wanted to buy. So I have done a lot of negotiation and bargaining back home in India, but once I moved to the United States, I have stopped doing that, especially in big stores. Um, I normally don't do it in farmers market because I believe that those are poor farmers. I don't want to do any kind of bargaining with them. But with this assignment, I was super excited. So let me start by the first store we went to. I have a 13-year-old daughter that went with me for the shopping spree. So the first stop we did at was at Lululemon. She wanted to buy a volleyball shorts, and we went into the Lululemon store. My strategy was to look at the loose angle or look at a sales rep that will be really nice to us in terms of how we are doing things. So I found someone, and as my daughter picked something, then I started having the conversation about how he was doing, how are things for him, and stuff like that. And then I jumped into by saying, hey, we really like this, but this is about $64 is super expensive. If you have ever been to Lululemon, you don't want to go over there, don't do it. It's super expensive. So I started asking if I can get any discount or if anything going on, and he was like, "Oh, there is nothing unless you're a healthcare worker." I started pushing him and saying to find if any discount is there, and he was like, "No, I cannot do anything." And my strategy was to listen to his answer and then come up with my counter answer to see if I didn't want him to be in an uncomfortable situation, as well as my daughter was already in the uncomfortable situation and ready to run out of the store. So finally he was like, okay, he cannot do anything for me, but he did end up giving me an extra Lululemon bag, which I realized that my daughter was super happy to get these plastic bag. For whatever it's worth, it is a brand icon. So we left from there, went to our next stop, which was Macy's. I wanted to buy a dress from there. I looked for a dress. That was only one dress remaining in that size, and of course it was good. Um, then I started again looking at who is the person who can help me anchor this price, and I started to talk to this girl, talking to her, making some discussions, nice conversation, and then I jumped to my strategy again by saying, hey, can you lower the price? It is 110. Is there anything that you can give me in terms of discount? And she, of course, on the first said, no, I don't have anything. Later on, she was like, oh, let me look for something. She found something in her coupon drawer or whatever she had over there. She pulled up a $30 discount, a 30% off coupon, which was great. So she ended up giving me 32.40 percent discount. I don't know how bright it is for you guys to see. The original price was about 110-ish, and she ended up giving me a 32.40, and the final price of the dress was 75.16. So that got my daughter excited as well. And the next stop was Kendra Scott. If you haven't been there, it's a designer jewelry store, kind of not super expensive, but still expensive for a chain and a pendant, which was $65. I wanted to gift that to my daughter, so I ended up asking her, do you have any discounts? And she said, I don't have nothing going on in the store. I said, please look for something. We are towards the end of our shopping experience, and I really want my daughter to give this. And she was like, if you are a student or you have a student ID, then I can do something. And of course, that probably is my next negotiation with Stanford, is to give us an ID. But anyways, I pushed, and then she saw my daughter and she was like, you know what, I'll give you a student discount. And she gave me a 15% student discount, which is 8.25. So this was a $65 chain and a pendant, ended up being finally at 50.97. So after that, we were like, okay, we are done now, too much of spending. So we ended up saving 40.65 between Macy's and Kendra Scott, and I got another bag from Lululemon as well. Again, strategy was to take a look at making sure that you establish a conversation with the sales rep and not just jump into a discount, but rather get them into the same emotional situation that you are in. I have to say it was a little nerve-wracking at the beginning, especially you shouldn't start with a big store like Lululemon, but I was ready to get some discount from them. But anyways, it was a good experience. To go through that, it is a little tricky as well. But once you get into the mode and you see things working like this, and you're saving hardcore dollar, it gets your blood moving faster than what you can think of. Conclusion, I have to say that I'm really, really happy on how things turned out. I have some more shopping that needs to be done, of course, for my husband and son next week, but I'm going to use the same strategy. I learned a lot about negotiation, and I walked away with great deals and saving 40.95 at the end of the dollar in some bag as well. And I also after all of this, I told my 13-year-old that next time that she is buying anything or she is doing anything in her life, she should use negotiation, specifically if she is buying something, and whatever dollar she saves as part of the negotiation goes back to her in her account or cash, however she prefers. I hope this gives you some inspiration to continue your negotiation skill. It is only the first minute or so that becomes nerve-wracking. After that, it gets better. So thank you, everyone.